pandemic, do you think it is, so much of this flows from your learnings from the pandemic, do you think the pandemic has perhaps it's reminded the world of the power of medicine, the power of science? Has it reminded your industry of its responsibility to the whole world, rather than just those rich countries that are lucky enough to be able to afford great medicine?
I think both are true to a very high degree. I think the world realized the value that the vibrant life sciences sector can bring to society. And the life sciences sector is composed by the private, but also the academia, as we saw the example AstraZeneca, Oxford, for example. As we saw other examples. Us with BioNTech, for example, that was with a biotech company. And, but also reminded of us when we have these weapons in, these tools, we must find ways that they reach all, and not only those that they can afford them.
I'll give you one example so you'll see, because I don't want to bore you with detailed plans, but they are detailed in my mind. We came out of COVID first. I described that in my book, my conversations with Bourla, Pfizer, and I persuaded him to give tiny Israel the necessary vaccines to get us out first from the COVID. And the reason I could do that is because we have a database, 98%, a medical database, 98% of our population has digitized medical records, blue card, and anywhere you go in any hospital in Israel, north, south, doesn't make any difference, boom, you punch it in, and you know everything about this patient for the last 20 years. I said, we'll use that to tell you whether these vaccines, what do they do to people, not individual people, not with their individual identities, but statistically. What does it do to people with, meningitis? What does it do to people with high blood pressure? What is it? You want to know that. So Israel became, if you will, the lab for Pfizer, and that's how we did it. We got it out. That we gave the information to the world, not only been published in medical magazines and so on. That's a database we have. I intend to bring on that database of personal medical records for entire population, a genetic database, genomes, okay? Give me a saliva sample, volunteer. But I'm sure most people would do it. Maybe we'll pay them. Now we have a genetic record on a medical record of a robust population. You have to have diversified populations. We have people from 100 lands. This is a very powerful engine. Now let pharma companies, let medical companies, let them run algorithms on this database, okay? I'm telling you right away that I'll give preference for a few years to Israeli firms, but you can create, and then to the world, but you can create, a biotechnological industry that is unheard of right now, unheard of, unimagined even. And these are just the examples. We can become stave off Iran, become a light unto the nations in groundbreaking.
I recommend that we need to stick the current registered schedule of 2 doses.
So it's too much of a risk right now to try and rely on one dose.
It's very high risk, I think. No data about it.
Obviously, post-phase 3, you've continued to collect data. What have you learned about your vaccine? Is it more effective than we were originally told? Does it have weaknesses that have been exposed? What have you found out?
A lot of things, and we keep analyzing it. And I believe Israel has become the world's lab right now, because they are using only our vaccine at this stage, and they have vaccinated very big